afternoon, guys. It's good to have you guys here. Welcome back. This Become Stitches. So today we're going to be making use of this beautiful Ankara print here. I have 6 yards of this. Okay, we're going to replicate what you saw at the thumbnail, and I have my black zipper. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up and cut out what I need for my fold. Okay. Guys, I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into two. We're cutting the upper part first and the front piece. So I folded into two. So what will determine your fold is the biggest part of your upper part, which is my bust, divided by 4 plus 2 to 3 inches. Okay, so we're getting right into class. So at this top part, I'm going to be marking down 1 inch. Okay, this 1 inch is going to serve as our shoulder line, okay, as our starting point. So after marking, I hope you're seeing these markings. After marking this shoulder line, we're going to start all our measurements from there. Now my shoulder to bust is 11 inches. Okay, my shoulder to under bust, which is not really necessary, is 15 inches, but I'm just marking it. Okay, it's not necessary for this style. And then my half length, which is my waist, is 18 inches. And then I'm going to be adding 1 inch for hemming. Okay, I'm going to mark it again in order to get a straight line. My bust point is 11, my under bust is 15, my waist 18, and then 1 inch joining allowance. So I'll go ahead and connect this into a straight line. The under bust is not necessary, okay? I just marked it so you can ignore, okay? So what we're going to do now is to mark our shoulder, okay? My shoulder is 16 inches divided by 2, I have 18 inches. And then we're going to mark the initial 3-inch mark. Now from this shoulder line, we're going to mark our chest line. To get your chest line, you divide your bust round by 6 and add 1.5 to that. So for me, I have 9.1. So I'll just draw that out. Okay. So meaning from my bust point, I can come up by 1.5, okay, in order to get mine. So I'll repeat the same marking I did at the shoulder point, which is 8 inches. I'm marking it there again, and I'm extending the line. So I'll connect from this point to that point, okay? So we'll come down from this shoulder part by 1 inch, and we'll slant it to meet this 3-inch mark, and then we'll add back half of an inch for joining of the shoulder. Okay, I'm adding back half of an inch. Now find the midpoint from the first slant, okay, not the half-inch mark. Find the midpoint of your chest line. At that midpoint, you're going to come inwards by half of an inch, okay, or 0.75. I'm doing 0.75, okay. By 0.75, I'll slant it to meet that 0.75 mark. Now at this my chest line, remember this my chest line, let me label it. C for chest line, B for bust, U for under bust, not necessary. Then this my waist. So at this chest line now, I'm going to mark my bust measurement divided by 4. My bust is 11.2 divided by 4 is 11.2, that's 45. So I'm going to connect from here to meet my bust measurement. Can you see what we have here? Okay. So at the waistline here, I'm going to be marking my nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple measurement is 9 inches divided by 2, that's 4.5. So I'm going to mark the 4.5, mark it to the under bust point, Now from my bust point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, okay? For a dart you're using at the front, you'll come down from your bust by 1 inch, okay? And at that point, I'm also going to mark my nipple to nipple measurement, okay? So this is my 1 inch mark from my under bust. So at the lower part here, I'm going to take half an inch on both sides for my darts. And I'm going to connect it in a slanted manner to meet this 1 inch we came down from, okay? So connect it in a slanted manner, connect it in a slanted manner, okay? So we've created our dart. So we'll go ahead now and replace all our measurements. My bust measurement, there was no dart here. My bust is 11.2. Now I'm going to be using 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Now for my waist measurement is 39 divided by 4. That's 9.75, sorry. So we're going to replace this 1 inch dart, okay, that we took here. So I've replaced it, and then I'll add back the 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Then I'll just go ahead and connect. It's as simple as that, okay? And we're done. So we're going to get our neckline now. So to get our neckline, I want my neck width to be 4 inches. I'm using 4 inches by, I'm going to be using a V neckline, okay? You can use whatever neckline you desire. So I'm going to be using 6.5 inches for my V neckline. So I'm going to connect, okay, from this place, from the 4 inch mark. Please watch how I achieve this. Connect it in a slanted manner to get your V neckline. So that's the neckline for the front. Connect it to your 1/2 inch. I hope you understand the 1/2 inch we added for joining the shoulder. And we're done with the front piece. So I'm going to go ahead now and place this on my back piece, okay? So I had already folded the material for the back piece, okay? So what you do is that the fabric for the back piece will be bigger than the front piece because of the zipper allowance. Remember, we're adding zipper to this, okay? So after folding this into 2, we're going to bring in the front piece, okay? Okay, we're bringing in the front piece, and that's our front piece. Ensure you keep your zipper allowance. This is where the front ends, okay? So this is my zipper allowance. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut every other thing out. So if you watched up to this point and you've not liked, please like, share, and subscribe. God bless you as you do so, okay? It encourages me, okay? Thank you. So while cutting the armhole, do not forget that we came in by 0.75. Now the back armhole shouldn't be this deep. So I'm going to reduce what I have here, okay? So watch, this is my back armhole. So I'm going to use this. Can you see what I did here? Okay, this is the 0.75 mark, and this is where the back armhole is. So I'm going to follow this, then I'll let her trim off the front armhole. So we're going to notch the dart legs, okay, so that both front and back dart legs align, okay. So for the neckline, the back neckline, we're going to be using 1.5 inch, okay. So I'm going to also mark down 1 inch so our lines should align, okay. So from there I'm going to be marking 1.5 inch, and this will be for the back neckline. So I'll connect it this way. I hope you're seeing this. So go ahead and cut out. 1/2 inch. Okay, so we'll go ahead and lift the front piece. Okay, cut out the front neckline. Please be careful while doing this. Okay, beautiful. So we're done with the front. Okay, so make sure you draw out your zipper line. Okay, trace it out so you don't make mistakes. Okay, trace your zipper allowance line out. So in order to avoid zipper bulge, this is the waistline. So I'm going to extend it to the back. And what I'm going to do is, what I have here is 1.5 inch. So I'm going to come inwards, okay, from here. I'm going to come inwards by 1 inch, okay, or 0.75. Let me do 0.75. I'll slant it upwards and slant it outwards, okay, to avoid zipper bulge. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up. So we have our back piece ready. So can you see? It's very simple. Cut out both front and back. Okay, so can you see at the waistline the zipper allowance is smaller than the upper part? Okay, so we're done. What we're going to do now is to notch. Please ensure you notch well. Okay, your dart lines must align. So we're done with the front piece. You can keep the front piece aside. I almost forgot. Trim off the armhole for the front. Remember, the front armhole is deeper, so I've cut it out. Okay, so this is our front piece. Okay, so for the darts for the back, from my zipper allowance line, I'm going to mark my 4.5 inch, okay, which is my nipple to nipple measurement. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark upwards up to my bust point. From the shoulder, remember we added 1/2 inch, remove the 1/2 inch. From the shoulder, I'm going to mark to my chest line. Okay, remember my chest line was 9.1. Then you can come down by 1 inch for the back. From your chest line, come down by 1.5, by 1 inch, sorry, and then you connect the dart for the back. So I'm marking my nipple to nipple, so I'll connect my darts from here. Okay, my notched dart legs are here already, so connect it all the way to the top. I hope you understand. Sorry. Okay, so ignore this other line. This is my 1/2 inch mark. For the back dart, from your shoulder point, come down to your chest line, not your bust point, your chest line. Now from your chest line, come down by 1 inch and connect your dart. Okay, so this is our back dart. Okay, and we're done. So I'm going to be using facing for this. Okay, now for the back facing, I'm not going to be lining this dress, guys. So for the back facing, just have your fabric folded into two, and I'll bring in the back piece. Okay, I'll bring in the back piece. Just ensure that you have your neckline and that this part aligns. Very important, your zipper part. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Just trace out the neckline. Okay, and trace out your shoulder point, and that's it. Then align this part as well. Okay, so we're going to move this out of the way. Now for how long we want this shoulder part, the extension we want, I'm going to be using 3 inches. So meaning you mark 3 inches round. Okay, to get an accurate circle for your facing, 3 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and connect this, and then we'll cut out. Okay, so this becomes our back facing. Can you see this? So when we're sewing this, this is the neckline and this is the facing. This is where the 3 inches stops. Okay, so we're done with the back piece. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the face. So for the front facing, I'm getting the fabric. Now, remember the back facing, this part was open as the zipper part, but for the front facing, ensure that this center part is unfold just the way the center front is, and align these parts together, and then I've gone ahead to pin it down. So I'll just follow the neckline I have here and cut out. Okay, can you see this? Now remember, we need 3 inches, okay, for the back. So I'm just going to cut this for now, and then I'll go ahead and remove my pins. Okay, so what we're going to do now is to mark our 3 inches. I hope you're seeing what I'm doing here. Okay, go ahead and mark. So from the slant here, mark your 3 inches. Mark your 3 inches round. Mark your 3 inches. Mark your 3 inches. Then at this part, sorry, you can decide to make this inner part longer. Okay, so but this other part has to align with the front. Remember, we took 3 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So can you see what we have now? Now this inner part is longer and it's penciled. Okay, you can decide to trim that off a bit. So when you bring in the front, these are front piece. Okay, can you see the neckline aligns? Okay, this part is on fold, and then we still have the same 3 inches like the other piece. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is this. We'll open our dress at top up. Can you see what we have here? Our V neckline. You will align right sides of the facing each other. Now you can decide to add stay to the wrong part, but I'm not going to be doing that. So ensure this V part sits equally. You can work with your pins, and then what you're going to do is this. You sew to this edge, sew to this edge, flip it over and top stitch. Then hold in your darts. Okay, ensure you hold your darts accurately. Hold in your darts, hold the darts for the back as well, and then also join the face. Guys, before I finish off that part, I'm going to quickly show us how to cut the flare. We're going ahead to cut out the lower part. So this is a calculation we need, okay, to cut out the lower part. For a flay, the waist radius, a full flay, the formula for a full flay is 3.14. I already have a detailed tutorial on that on my YouTube channel, so you can go through it, you'll see that. The formula for a full flay is 3.14. Okay, so what you do now is to get the full length of your dress from shoulder to where you want your dress to stop. Since we already cut out the upper part, we're going to subtract the upper part from the full length. So my upper part is 18 inches. So my lower part, the full length of my dress, I want it to be 40 inches. Now 40 inches plus 1 inch, half inch to hem the lower part, half inch to join the lower part back to the upper part. So that's 41. Okay, so 41 inches minus 18 inches, that's the upper part we've cut out already. I'm going to be left with 23 inches. So meaning the lower part, the first step of the flay is going to be 23 inches. I hope you understand. Now, to get the waist round of the flay, the formula is 3.14. So I'm going to get my waist round. My round waist is 39 inches. I'm going to be adding 2 inches to that. 2 inches is the zipper allowance at the back, okay? So when you add 2 inches to 39, you have 41 inches. So for me, 41 inches divided by 3.14, which is the formula for a full flay, I'll have 13.05, meaning my waist round is 13.05, and the full length from that waist to the first step of the flay is 23 inches. Please, you can watch all over again so you can understand, okay? So what will determine your fold, what will help you to know what fabric to fold that will be enough for you, is for you to add that 13.05 plus 23 inches. Add it all together. So for me, I have 36 inches. Okay, so from my fabric is on fold, from here I'm going to ensure I have nothing short of 36 inches. On this other part, you also need to measure and ensure you have 36 inches. Do you understand? Put your fabric on fold and measure on the two angles to ensure you have 36 inches, so that when you measure your radius and your lower part, you won't have any shortage. So I've measured mine and I have more than 36 inches, which is just perfect for me. Okay, I've put it on a fold of 2 already. So this is angle, this part is on fold, this part is the open part. So I'm going to fold my fabric again. Can you see what I'm doing? Hold it, hold this angle like this, and fold your fabric into 2, okay? Like you're folding it in a triangular form, okay? And then make sure you align this part perfectly. Make sure everything is well aligned. Take your time to ensure even the center part is well aligned, okay? So that when after making your calculations, everything will just be perfect. So any part you don't understand, just take your time and rewatch it, okay? You'll get it perfectly. Beautiful. So this is what I have. Can you see what I have here? This is the angle part. So from that part, we're going to start taking our measurements. So the first measurement I'm going to take is my radius. You can decide to take your radius first, or you just from this point mark your 36 inches and cut out the excess before you start taking your radius, okay? But I'm going to be marking my radius first. Anyone you decide to do is just fine. So for me, 41 divided by 3.14, which is the formula for a flay, is 13.5. So I'm going to keep my tape here. Can you see what I'm doing? And rotate 13.5 round. Please, if you've watched up to this point and you've not liked, please kindly like. God bless you. And subscribe. Turn on post notifications, okay? So go ahead and rotate whatever you have round, okay? I've rotated mine and this is my radius. Now from this radius point, I'm going to be marking the full length of the first step, which is 23 inches for me. So I'm marking my 23 inches round. Make sure your tape is laying at the radius point. You keep rotating it gradually. Now I'm not fast forwarding this part, okay, especially for beginners, so they can get it, okay? So keep rotating this round. 23 inches, sorry. I think I started marking 23.5, sorry. So this is mine, okay, 23. That's why you need to take your time, okay? Okay, take your time and watch what I'm doing, okay? I started marking 23.5, okay? So ensure you take your time and do the right thing. Just keep rotating, okay? Take your time, patience, space. Please kindly like. God bless you. I appreciate if you like and subscribe, okay? So far, I have 20 subscribers, okay, and I'm very grateful for that. Please, if you're watching, kindly subscribe, okay? We're going to get so much value on this channel, okay? I promise you that. So I've connected my 23 inches to the end and we're done. So we go ahead now and cut off. Now, while cutting off, add half of an inch again. We choose to, I just love to add that, okay? Just in case I decide to freestyle and do more than half inch while joining the lower part to the upper part. Okay, so cutting out now. Can you see what we have? So beautiful. So, can you see this? We have our full flay. So now for the second step, I want the second step of this flay to be 3 inches shorter than this long one. Okay? So I'm going to be bringing in another fabric. You're going to do the same thing you did for the first one, but the only difference is that this one is going to be shorter. Okay? So what we do is we go ahead and cut out the waist, align the waist, okay? Ensure the waist is well aligned. Every other part too should be well aligned. We're cutting out. After cutting out the waist, you can go ahead and mark 20 inches, okay? The first step is 23 inches. For me, I want it to have a difference of 3 inches, okay? So meaning this other part will be 20 inches. So I'm marking 20 inches round. Also rotate the way we did for the first one. 20 inches. 20 inches. Please kindly like if you haven't. God bless you. So mark round your 20 inches and go ahead to connect it. And then we cut out. It's as simple as that, okay? So even if you want to do 3 steps, it depends on the difference you want. Just go ahead and subtract. But the waist, the radius just has to remain the same. This part has to remain the same. The length will be the only difference. So this is the first flay. This will be the second flay. It's folded the same way. So can you see what we have here? The waist aligns, and this is where the difference is. Okay, can you see the difference? But the waist has to be the exact same thing. So we're done with cutting out our flay. So guys, we'll just go ahead to cut out the sleeve now, and I have this fabric, okay? I don't have so much left. So the full length of my sleeve is 25 inches, okay? So what I have here is 26.5, okay? Plus any other excess, I can always trim it off, okay? So from this part, I'm going to come down by 5 inches. You can do 5, you can do 4.5. And I'm going to just curve it out, okay? I'm going to curve this in an S-like shape, okay? If you need a tutorial on how to cut a sleeve, kindly let me know in the comments. So I'm going to come down by like 4 inches and mark my round bicep, which is exactly what I have here. I'll come down some more to my elbow, mark my elbow round, add 1 inch sewing allowance. At the lower part here, I'm going to measure my wrist round. I'm just going to take everything, okay? I'm actually managing this fabric I have on fold. So if you want a detailed tutorial, guys, on how to cut out a sleeve, okay, kindly let me know in the comments, do. Okay. Okay, so our sleeve is ready. Okay, I'll go ahead and notch this center part. So we have our two sleeves ready. So I'll go ahead now and pick my darts for the upper part and then turn the neckline, iron it out. I'll fix in my sleeve and then we'll go ahead to join the flip. So welcome back, guys. I've gone ahead to sew down the neckline with my facing. Can you see how neat this is? And I top stitched. Okay, this is the back. Can you see this? And I've gone ahead to pick my darts. Okay, can you see this? So beautiful. And I've done the same thing for the back and I've ironed them out. Okay, I've turned the neckline for our back pieces. Okay, I've sewn the neckline around with the facing and I've top stitched, and I've also gone ahead to pick the darts. Okay, can you see this? I've picked my darts for the back. So what we're going to do now is to join my shoulders. Okay, join them right sides facing each other. Okay, I'm going to pick one, the facing. You should know this by now. Use it to wrap this up, join the both shoulders, then I'll fix in my sleeve. Okay, then I'm going to be attaching a belt to this dress. So I have this fabric. Okay, as long as you want it, you can do times 1.5 of your waist round on each part. Depends on how long you want your belt to be. So I have 5 inches here. Okay, the length of the belt is 5 inches, and then the width, sorry, this is the length, is this long. So I have 2 of this, so 1 for each part. So I want my belt to be 2.5, 2 inches when I'm done. Okay, so I'm going to fold this into 2. I'll sew up with half of an inch so that when I turn it out I have 2 inches left. So I'm going to do that for both sides. I'll join the shoulders, fix in my sleeve, shape the sides. Then I'm going to come up from the waistline by half of an inch and attach my belt. Okay? From the waistline, come up by half inch and attach your belt. The half inch will be to join the lower part, okay, to the upper part. So I'll join the shoulder, shape the sides with 1 inch sewing allowance that we left, attach my belt, fix in the sleeve, then I'll come right back for us to complete it. Please kindly like if you haven't up to this point. Thank you, guys. So welcome back, guys. I'm done with fixing in our sleeves. Okay, can you see our long sleeve? Okay, I'm done fixing in the sleeve, and this is our belt. Can you see how long it is? So it totally depends on you how long you want yours to be. So this is our front piece. Okay, I've not closed the zipper area just yet. These are belts. Okay, can you see it's gradually taking shape? Okay, you can use hemming gum if you want to use hemming gum and iron this down to hold the facing in place. And this is our long sleeve. Okay, so this is our inch, our half inch to join the lower part. I asked you to join it below the, keep half of an inch after fixing in your belt. Okay, so what we're going to do now is this. On the back piece, we're going to be cutting out 1 inch. Okay, the front and the back cannot be the same, so you're going to align this perfectly on the sides. Okay, make sure your belt is not getting in the way, so you don't cut out your belt. Okay, align everything perfectly. Good. So what we're going to be doing now is to mark out 1 inch, whatever your back half length is. So for mine is 1 inch. I hope you can see this. So I'll cut it out. I'll slope it to the sides. Make sure everyone is well aligned to the sides. I'm just cutting out a quarter on the front here. For the front, it's not necessary. You can let it be. Remember, I was supposed to add half of an inch, but I added 1 inch while cutting. So I'm just cutting out a little. But make sure you remove this other part. So I'm going to open this up. So this is what we have at the lower part. So we're done with our top piece. So for the lower piece, I've gone ahead to hem. I'm gone ahead to hem the lower part of our flare. So can you see what we have here? These are our flare. Okay. I've gone ahead to hem the lower part for both of them. So what I did was that the bigger one, the longer one is beneath and the shorter one will be on top. So wrong side of the longer one, wrong side of the shorter one will be on the right side of the longer one. I hope you understand. Just place it on top of this, join it on the waist together, because we're joining it, we're attaching it on the waistline at once, okay, not separately. So I've hemmed the lower part round. Can you see our flare? Okay, I've hemmed the lower part of the both flare. Then I took the shorter one that was 20 inches. I placed it on top of the longer one. Can you see the difference here at the lower part? Okay, so even if you want to do 3 steps, 4 steps, it's the same thing you're going to do. And I've joined them together at the waist, and I joined them on the sides so they become one piece. Do you understand? I did same at this point as well. So just put the shorter one on top of the longer one, join them together and on the waistline, and join them at the sides. Don't forget to hem the lower part. And I've notched the midpoint, okay? Notch the center of this. You're also going to notch the midpoint of your top, okay? Put your top together. Good. Make sure everything is well aligned. Sorry. Notch the midpoint. So you're going to place this right sides facing each other. So right side of the top, bring your flare as well. The right sides. Okay, can you see what we have here? So let the notches match, okay? Right sides facing each other. So you're going to join them together from one part of the flare, from one end to the other end, okay? Can you see what I have here? You're going to join it from one end to the other end, okay? And you join this part to this other end. When we're done joining it to become one dress altogether, then I'm going to go ahead and fix in my zipper at the back, and then I'll bring it back to show us. Please kindly like if you haven't up to this point, okay? And show guys, we've come to the end of today's tutorial. Can you see a beautiful top? See the neckline, a V neckline fixed in a zipper, a long sleeve. Please, if you've watched up to this point and you've not liked, please kindly like and subscribe. And this is our belt. Look at the flare. Can you see the fullness we have here? Let me show you guys the back parts. Can you see this? These are zipper. Ensure this line, the waistline matches, okay, at the waist. And this is how it flares out, okay. And also ensure this joining, okay, for the inner one also aligns, even the lower parts, okay, so your work can come up neat. Can you see? So mark your zipper points where you want your zip to end, and then close up the lower part, okay. That's what we did. So these are flare and these are back piece, and zipper sitting pretty at the back. So thank you so much guys for stopping by for today's tutorial. I'm really grateful for your time. I'm Pikama Stitches, piece of Pikama Stitches. Thank you so much guys for the support so far. May God bless you guys. I'm thinking of uploading a freehand corset tutorial. So please, if you would love to see that tutorial, kindly let me know in the comment section so I can work towards making that for us. So thank you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in our next tutorial decided by you. Okay, or if there's any other style you want us to work on, kindly let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much guys. Till we see you next time. Bye bye.